All right. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for coming. We just tried to show some few, excerpts of the kind of what do you call the media activities that we do in the tourism program. Obviously, the internet wasn't that of a good quality, so you probably might not have experienced it better. But these are some of the, sort of programs that we do. Yeah, thank you for joining us once again. Today we're going to have the information session purely for the Msc Hospitality and Tourism Sandwich Program. We're lucky to actually have two industry players, very huge industry players joining us to give us a tidbit about, how the industry looks like immediately after COVID-19 or when the situation gets better. And I'm lucky to be joined by the two industry players, Mr. Kwachi Donko, who is actually in South Africa. In fact, he just landed in South Africa and I happened to pull him over. Obviously, it's been a long trip for him, but he agreed to join us for the love of the sector, and then of course for the love of the business school. University of Ghana Business School is in partnership with his organization, the African Tourism Partners. We're also lucky to have Mr. Kojo Bentum of Voyage Afrique, again another huge industry player here, to also give us a tidbit of how the industry looks like, especially immediately after COVID. So if we have Mr. Kwachi Donko here, Mr. Kwachi Donko, are you here, please?
Yes, hello. I am. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you for making it. And Kojo, are you here?
Yes, I'm here, Doc. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, for coming in. So, ladies and gentlemen, quickly, I would introduce Mr. Kwachi Donko. As I said, he is the lead for African Tourism Partners. They are the organizers of the African Tourism Leadership, Forum, ATLF, fantastic event, hosting big players in the industry. So we would invite Mr. Kwachi Donko to give us a very sneak peek about how the industry looks, post-COVID, and any other thing he thinks that we would, it would be good for us to hear. Then we can actually move on to Kojo. Yes, sir. So you're on the floor now, Mr. Kwachi Donko.
Well, thank you very much, Doc. And it's a great pleasure to meet you all. I just left Ghana yesterday, arrived this morning. I think the industry, the state of the industry is given in the sense that is the hardest hit, and I think we keep repeating ourselves by saying that. But proud to that, I think that it was one of the leading industries in the world and one of the biggest job creators. I'll leave the Kojo to basically elaborate on a couple of things. So there is a huge opportunity for the industry to bounce back, because what's going to happen is after COVID, we all want to get out there and travel and explore. It's not going to be the same because now it got a lot of issues that one has to take into account. And obviously, you all know about the COVID testing. I know Ghana, you've started taking the jabs, but then people coming into your country and bringing in the foreign exchange should also be fit to be able to come into your country. And what I mean by that is that they should also have been cleared, either through COVID testing or injection or vaccination, whatever we call it, to be able to come in. But I think there is one key sector of the industry that Dr. Mensah briefed me on, and he feels that it's important that we mention that to you or we share information, and that is what we call the MICE, or the business event sector. Basically meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibitions, and I add another E being events, because sometimes people get confused between what is an event, what is a conference, what is exhibition, and stuff like that. Now, that industry also worth billions and billions of dollars until the pandemic. However, there are opportunities. So if you are going to do your MSc, I think it's something that you could look at. As you said, we have a relationship with the university and we'd like to continue and to help professionalize the industry in Africa. Our core business is not events. Our core business is tourism consulting across the broad spectrum of the tourism value chain. However, we can be proud that we are some of the leading minds when it comes to MICE in Africa, from strategy to implementation. What hasn't happened in Africa is the professionalization of the industry. At the moment, there isn't anybody across the continent that actually give any professional certificate in the industry. There are a couple that we all know of are US-based. One of them is called Event Council. And the Event Council basically is an institution that gives certification for professional event organizers. We call it CMP, it's Certified Meeting Planner, and it's a continuous professional development program that people can undertake. The unfortunate side is it's more American oriented. And that is why we as Africa Tourism Partners run a program called the Africa MICE Academy, basically to be able to fill in the gap or the vacuum that they have left. So we do that by partnering with a lot of institutions and professional organizations. And that is what you might call experiential training, or what we call the action learning kind of education, where we bring in purely industry practitioners, people who do the work, people who are on the ground, understand the dynamics of the industry, understand the challenges, understand the opportunities. So that is something that we will be working with the university as part of your program to run what we call the master classes, although that will not be, that the fee structure and stuff like that will be different from whatever you are paying to the university. Dr. Kobby will explain further. And the purpose of that is to give you opportunity to be able to establish global network within the industry, and at the same time to be able to become a proper professional rather than just an academic who has got a certificate in tourism. And that is unfortunate what we have in Africa in most countries. You've got a lot of people with understanding of the industry, but when it comes to the actual practice, there is none. We've done some work for Ghana, we've done some work for South Africa, and a lot of the time, you get most of us with very brilliant qualifications, excellent qualifications, but when it comes to the actual work, particularly in the mine sector, there is very little understanding and experience. So our goal here is to help you to be a professional conference organizer, or what we call a professional meeting planner or business events planner. And at the same time, build network across the globe, since we work with experts and practitioners and professionals across the four corners of the world. Another opportunity of also having that kind of relationship is whatever that you learn, you keep learning, because the industry is very dynamic and it changes, particularly now. It's become very fluid. So we got to learn new ways of doing business across the tourism value chain. But the MICE, because it's gathering or bringing a group of people together in whatever way possible, we got to find a way to run this differently. And therefore the need for everybody in the industry to reskill themselves, to get refresher programs, to learn new ways of doing business. So these have made our program more relevant. Actually, we are running one in South Africa on the 24th and 25th of this month. And I know Mr. Kwajobe too wrote about that. So in a nutshell, what I would like to encourage you all is to study hard, but make sure it's not just theory. It got to be theory and practice. And the practice could be gained through programs similar to what we run, the Africa MICE Academy or the Africa MICE and Business Tourism Masterclass. And I'm sure that we'll be doing other programs in addition to this with the university, based on circumstances and how things develop. So Dr. Kobby, I think on this note, or Dr. Mensah rather, I would like to say thank you for giving us opportunity, and I would like to wish all your students the very best of this journey. Yeah. So in a nutshell, that is what I would like to share with you.
Thank you, Kwachi. Some of the participants were actually asking if we can put a face to the voice. Are you in a position to show yourself, please?
No problem. No problem.
Okay,
I'll do that.
Okay. So for those of you who are asking,
why do they want to see the face? No matter, they can Google, they will see my face.
at least
Okay.
so that when you come to the class, they will see you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Mr. Kwachi.
That's me.
Yeah, he's the CEO of African Tourism Partners. Fantastic job he's doing across all the continents. He's actually one of our star boy, if we can put it, Africa's star boy in tourism. Fantastic program. ATLF have participated on a number of occasions. Please, if you have a question, you can actually put it in the box. Okay, let's take about 2 questions. Then we'll come to Kojo. Then we can continue the rest of the question follow, because Mr. Kwachi might go. Yeah. So I've seen someone lift their hand. Who was lifting? Who lifted the hand, please? I saw a hand up. Okay. Let's go to Kojo so that after that, then we can, get in. So thank you so much, Mr. Kwachi, once again. All right, Kojo.
So there is no question for me, eh?
Yeah.
Out of the 30-something, it means I was talking a lot of bullshit. Am I right? Or
no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think people are warming up. Warming up.
Either, yeah, or I did a good job. One of them.
Excellent.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. That's
okay.
right. Thank
Enjoy
you so
the
much.
rest of your lessons. Thank you. Have
Excellent.
a lovely day. Bye.
We appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Kojo, yes. So if we can please hear from you, and then what do you have for us?
Okay, Doug, again, thanks for the opportunity to join the class. I mean, like Mr. Kwachi said, the sector has seen a lot of changes. In fact, if you want to put it bluntly, it is the most affected sector when it comes to the COVID. But again, as you know, with tourism has proven over the years that it's very resilient, all right? But then again, we never also expected how this pandemic, was going to cause an uproar. I mean, literally it came to a screeching halt. And we are all thinking about what to do next. But one thing that I can say that for people in the industry and all of us that we are here today, that COVID has taught us is for us to be able to innovate. And if you look at what it exposed also, it also exposed some of the things that in fact, I put it mildly that some of the things were overglorified. As to the point that we never thought about sustainability and how we could get things running. So just the relevance of this particular class, what I would say is that it is, taught us how to build resilience, okay? Now, once you are going to this course or this program, even for academics like yourself, you then have to imbibe or bring in new things that would help you understand and, in fact, communicate with your students in terms of what is happening in the market. So things like adapting to new strategies, sustainable strategies to your business models and your business cases are key, And that said, you also have to look at the core thing for our sector, which is the skill set. Because we know that, the sector has come to a halt, but when it returns and when we restart tourism again, it will need a very, sharpened skill set to be able to take on the issues that we have at this. We won't go back to the same things that we're doing before the pandemic. Now, if you look at some figures, I mean, like I said, tourism was resilient and it was edging to a very unprecedented growth, because if you look at pre the pandemic, we had 4.5 to 5% growth, per annum, which average global GDP was about 3%. All right. So it tells you that it's a sector that has a lot of prospect. So if, I mean, you're looking to take a course, or I mean, you're looking to come to this industry, it is not all you know, doom and gloom. Now we know that we will come back differently. The sector has to itself restart itself, but it won't go back to the old ways. So what I can say is that as we begin this course, we need to also explore and look at opportunities that we can, you know, bring to bear on the sector. You look at technologies. Now, cloud technologies and hybrid events are going to be some of the things that, you know, we have to put in place to ensure that the sector become resilient. If you also even look at the diversification of what is it that you want to put out there. For example, the course. You may pick up new things in the sector that you as the lecturer, you know, you may want to add to your course outline. So all what I can say is that it's not as if to say that tourism is gone and it's shut and it's finished, but we will come back stronger. But again, coming back means that you are prepared for the time, and things won't be the same. So taking this course, there are a lot of opportunities, and you have to, people have now learned, you know, they've learned the you know, resilience by reality, okay? And even choosing topics, your project topics will change. So in a nutshell, what I want to wrap up to say is that it has been a very difficult year for the sector. As you know, the UNWTO's expert of panels had already put out there that we are expected to have a full recovery in 2023. All right, you know, Q1 2024, that's full recovery. But again, there are a lot of opportunities that this thing has created, or this pandemic has created. And I think that once we go into this, this subject, we should have in mind that there are areas that we can be able to offer new solutions, you know, that we know already. So that's where I would like to end, if it's fine.
Excellent. Kojo, thank you so much, you know, for the input. I think someone has actually lifted their hand. Kwame, you want to say something? Kwame, can you please unmute Kwame? Yes, so that we can hear. Kwame.
Very well. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Is that my own Kwame?
Yes, sir.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so Kwame is part of our first cohort who has actually enjoyed the program, and he's actually coming in to lend some support. Thank you so much for making it, Kwame.
Very well. I'm grateful to you and your team for coming up with this program. Quickly, I want to find out from Kojo, how credible is data with regards to the pandemic? Because for me, a few colleagues of mine and I are working on our thesis, and we want to use data, and most of them are working with something in direction of pandemic, and they are looking at data. We are talking about literature data, and at the same time data for the work around the globe. How credible, and what will you advise us for you?
Okay, thank you very much. I think what I can say on data is that if you go to the UNWTO website, which I'm going to share here, you know, on this platform, you realize that before the pandemic, I think in January 2019, during the FITU, we launched our live tracking data. And what it did was to be able to feed in all the things happening. So as we speak now, you know, we know the situation is a fluid situation and it's an evolving situation. So if you go there right now, you will see how countries are, you know, lifting restrictions, what has been put in place, and all the measures that government has implemented, and even for the private sector. Now, with our data, we get our data from the national office. So our member state feed us, you know, with the information. We also deal with other third parties, you know, international partners. So it's very critical, and it is key. I can understand your frustration that at this point in time, there's a lot of things out there, but it is important to look at the source. that's, that will help you, because if you don't have data, it will be difficult for you to chart a new path, or for you to plan. So what I can say is that data is very crucial, and I'm going to share that data in the chat box where we have a live tracker. So if you go there, it gives you the evolving situation, real time, of which country and what they are doing and at what point in time. In fact, today we released a new data, and we realized that the advent of the new variant, has rolled back the tourism restart, into the effect that you've seen countries reimposing some restrictions that is making it difficult for us to start. So data is key, and at the UNWTO, you find out that with our international partners and with our member state, we are able to input this feed, and it helps people to be able to appreciate exactly what is happening. So if you don't mind, I'm going to put it in the chat, and you can go there as a source of intelligence, and we have the data that will help you to understand the situation as we go along. Because doing your project, or even starting a new business in COVID or post-COVID, you will need this critical information to be able to fashion out your new plan. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah.
All right, let me share the data with you right now.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Kojo. Thanks, Kwame, for the question. I think we'll move on to the information session. Once we pass on the information later on, all the questions can follow. So Kwame, if you can please host the slide for me. If you can share the slide for me, I'll be grateful. As Kojo shares the link as well to the, so please, the protocol is that, yes, you keep yourself in mute. If you, after the presentation, if you have to ask questions, we'll mute you. Again, you have the reaction button where you can actually lift up your hand if you have to ask a question. So once I'm done with the presentation, you can actually go ahead and then ask questions. So Kwame, we'll move to the next ones. Kwame. Oh, I should share from my end. Okay, let me share from my end. Okay, so, okay. All right. Okay, so the information session for the one-year master's program, and typically today we are talking about the the Msc Hospitality and Tourism. I will take you through, the university, a little bit about the UGBS. Why do you have to choose us? The programs that we offer, the program durations, lectures, fees, etc. So you're going to have some of these. So this is our beautiful building. We call it the graduate block. That's where usually we hold. That's where we hold or we host our graduate students. They're in phases. This is the phase 1. Phase 2 includes other massive, structures, but we are currently, in this one. If COVID, post-COVID, things are better, that's where we'll go. Obviously, our mission as a vision as a business school is to develop or become world-class business school, developing global leaders. That's our aim. We make sure that our students, when they graduate, they become global, leaders. And we don't only say that, we act it, because we're actually part of international business communities, international, universities. We have global partnerships, and that actually makes sure that it lends credence to what we say as, developing, global leaders. Again, our mission is to have a quality human resources that is actually capable of solving, global issues, obviously, including, home, or national issues. That's very relevant for us. So why choose UGBS? Obviously, we are the premier business school in the sub-region, but of course, it is crucial to say that our, size in terms of networks, we have the biggest networks of alumni that you can ever think of. This university, obviously, because of its years in existence and because of its, premier status, we actually have both, local and international, alumni that actually we rely on for our students. So if you have to, have a cooperation globally and nationally, even within the sub-region, you know that you are in the midst of a very huge, what do you call, network of alumni, and then of course, our partnerships, as we've said, internationally, we belong to AACSB, which is the Association of Advanced Collegiate Schools of Businesses. We are part of GINAM, Global Network for Advanced Management, and AABS, Association of African Business School. We also have, from the tourism perspective, we have a link with UNWTO, and as you actually heard Kojo and Mr. Kwachi actually speak, these are UNWTO major players, and because of our association, we have that kind of linkage with that. Obviously, we are also in touch with African tourism partners, which you just heard Mr. Kwachi Donko speak. They organize African Tourism Leadership Forum. We have a memorandum of understanding with them to deliver tourism programs, hospitality and tourism programs. Again, you just heard from Kojo Bentum, who is the lead for Voyage Afrique, and he's actually championing tourism communication from African perspective, and he's a very big player within the UNWTO network. So these are our international networks that we have to make sure that we can actually project our students globally in order that they could actually solve global issues as well as local issues as we talk about. Now, most of our partners are across these areas: North America, Europe, Asia, and then of course within the African sub-region, we have extensive networks with universities and other practicing institutions. So the school has a study tour program, which will make sure that students, when they are interested and when they have the ability, we take them abroad. Obviously, because of COVID, there had been a little bit of changes, but then after COVID, suddenly we organize in what we call study tours to the US and to China, to Europe, UK, Denmark, etc. You visit schools like MIT. We go to both Harvard and Howard Business Schools. We also go to the UK, and then we'll go to China. And these programs have been so helpful because it's opened doors for most of our students in terms of networking and fresh ideas, fresh thinking whenever they go on to such programs and come back. It's been very, very helpful. So just in case travel is normalized and you are interested, once you're a student, you can actually be on our travel tour. Then, of course, the phases of UGBS, obviously, faculty and staff. We have, and we boast of one of the strong, faculty. Obviously, the university itself has amazing, crop of renowned, academics. And if you come to the business school, the same. Most of our, faculty, they hold PhDs. In fact, all our faculty hold PhDs. We have associate professors, full professors, and other qualified, well-experienced, practical, lecturers who are actually from practice perspective, actually being on our bouquet of faculty. Now, some of the alumni networks, we have some of the renowned, people in the country as alumni. And if you come onto the program, we have the alumni, network, office that actually registers you and then introduces you to the alumni network. They hold meetings, they hold, business discussions, etc. Then you become part of the family. We also have, a portal that actually sends you email of who is doing what within the field. And if you find that what you're doing links up with another alumnus, what they're doing, you can actually link them up. And then you actually, find a common path there. Well, UGBS programs focus on developing students that are business leaders, as we said, student complete research project, which enables them to critically analyze, things, analyze issues. It produces high achieving and successful individuals, increased number of foreign students and international affiliates, as we have actually, said. These are some of the programs that we run. Obviously, hospitality and tourism, which is the one that we're talking about now. But just in case any relative of yours or friend of yours is interested, we have a sandwich program in MA Marketing Strategy, MA Organizational Leadership and Governance, MSc Accounting and Finance, MSc Financial Risk Management, MSc International Business, MSc Clinical Leadership and Governance. But of course, this session is only for hospitality and tourism. Over the week, course of the week, other faculty would handle, some of these areas that I'm talking about. But today we are actually looking at MSc Hospitality and Tourism. Now, when you look at the MSc Hospitality and Tourism, we are saying that people within the field, we're looking at these markets, the inbound, international. When we talk about inbound international, we're talking about, people who are traveling into the country, that is foreigners who are traveling into the country for hospitality and tourism purposes. And so most of these organizations like travel and tour companies, what do you call the ticketing companies, they handle, these people, hotels, restaurant, car rentals. So once you're in that particular industry or in these sectors, certainly you fall within, the MSc Hospitality and Tourism. And then we say that you have to actually come on board this program. You learn quite a lot of things that we're talking about, both theory and practice. And then, of course, the networks that you get, as you have actually heard from Kojo and Mr. Kwache, we are going to ensure that you get the requisite knowledge, practical and theoretical aspect as well, in order that when tourism actually jumpstarts, you can actually take the opportunity to grow yourself and grow your business. Of course, when we talk about outbound, we mean in Ghanaians, also going out to tour other places or going out, for hospitality and tourism other places. Again, that's the area that people are actually working in or you'll be interested in. Again, we will show you the platforms that you have to be part of. Of course, we're talking about domestic tourism as well. So those who operate within, being restaurant, being hotels, being what we call travel and tours as well. I mean, a replica of whatever is international or international inbound or international outbound is also domestic as well. And then of course, the most growing one, which we're now talking about, is online, intermediaries, especially those who are into measurement and other things, looking at quality, gradings, ratings, etc. And those who are actually into tourism marketing, as in projecting countries and destinations online for people to see and to visit. That is also very much growing, in this country as well. So if you are within any of these areas, then certainly, you are actually part of this program that you have to come on board. Now, the 6 pillars that actually, support this program is that the Msc Hospitality and Tourism Management, aims to provide the opportunity for enhanced knowledge from leading industry academics and practitioners. The program applies experiential learning approach in the design of the program and then to enable students learn from industry players, develop practical and transferable managerial expertise. And as you said, you just heard from Mr. Kwachi and Kojo on some of these areas. Then, of course, the course is designed also to encourage learning through seminars, case analysis, and simulation. So you're going to actually look at how other countries or how other players actually use, or have used certain strategies in tourism and hospitality in order that we can actually replicate. And we have other, things like simulations that actually gives you a hands-on practical, feel of how the area is. Again, the program introduces students to the diverse fields of hospitality and tourism, offering insight into the key concept, theories, stakeholders, and relationships. It ensures that participating students, regardless of background, have 360-degree perspectives. So it doesn't matter what your background is. We'll make sure that the tools that we give you could give you enough perspective to be in a managerial, a position, having the capabilities to actually work, within the industry. It focuses on a dynamic nature of the main operational sector of hospitality and tourism, with an emphasis on career opportunities and progressions, which I think Kojo also talked about. And Mr. Kwachi actually talked hugely about the mine sector, which is one of the areas that we're so passionate about. And as Mr. Kwachi said, that is the area that we do not see Ghana actually taking advantage of. And then, of course, the professionalization of that particular sector is also weak in this country. And that's one thing that we want to really build, that people will have international events management certification, international conference management certification, so that you can actually host and manage in a very complex and very big time conferences where we think almost the success of tourism, especially when it comes to our end, actually hinge. The MICE sector, very, very strong area that we're encouraging people to go. Now, if you look at this framework, almost all these sectors here are within the tourism and hospitality area. Now, whether you're in the hospitality sector, attractions and events, transport, travel organizers and intermediaries, destination organizations, almost every sector that you can think of in this country is within the hospitality and tourism area. Hotels, guest houses, farmhouses, apartment, condominiums, vacation, conferences, exhibitions, restaurant, inns, cafes, they are within, hospitality and tourism. If you look at attraction, you have theme parks, museums, galleries, national parks, wildlife, gardens, heritage sites, sports, themed retail, leisure centers, festivals. If you work in these areas, certainly you are within hospitality and tourism. Transport, when you're in airlines, shipping, railway, bus, car rentals, you are within our sector. Travel organizers and intermediaries, you have travel intermediaries, tour operators, tour wholesalers, brokers, retail travel agents, conference organizers, booking agencies, accommodations, incentive travel organizers, you are within the area. Destination organization sector, you have national tourist offices, destination marketing organizations, regional state tourist offices, local tourist offices, tourist associations. Once you are within these areas, you are certainly within hospitality and tourism. So certainly this program is a very good program for you if you find yourself working in these areas, or you have any expectation of working in these areas. And as Kojo said, and Mr. Kwachi also highlighted, when we actually start again in terms of the world economy opening up again, certainly the hospitality and tourism industry or the sector is going to be the one to watch, because it's going to actually grow, and you want to seize that opportunity to be part of that growth. And as we say, people made their millions through the .com era. Now you probably would have your opportunity when tourism kickstarts again, when we will return to normal. So you want to seize the opportunity. Now let's look into specifics in terms of the course content, the program content. Now, if you look at it, the first semester you're doing, let me just change the settings and then so that I'll be able to, okay. Yeah, so the first semester you're doing these core courses and these electives. You have 12 credit hours for the core courses, and then you have up to, okay, so you're doing a total of up to 15 to 18 credit for the electives. So you have consumer behavior in the hospitality and tourism industry, 3 credit hours. You have operations management, hospitality and tourism management. You have research methods. So you're doing these these programs in your what do you call it, the first semester, which is the core. The elective, you're selecting 3 to 6 credits to be taken. So you have sustainable tourism development, you have event management, you have human resource management, and you have occupational health and safety management. So you choose amongst these the ones that you want to do. Semester 2, you have food service and catering management, hospitality and tourism marketing, hospitality and tourism law and ethics. You have advanced managerial principle as your core courses. And for your electives, you have destination branding, hospitality and tourism strategy, entrepreneurship in hospitality and tourism, protocol in business and social settings, and you have accounting and finance for the hospitality industry. Again, you choose from these electives, and then all of you do what we call the project work, which is the end of the program project that you write about some of the areas that excite you. What are the things that you want to know if you want to build some strategies, etc. That's where you actually do at the end of the session. So if we look at the way we conduct the program, it's conducted over 2 semesters, as we said, flexible timetables, which enable students to manage work, family, and other duties effectively. I mean, that's the reason why we brought the sandwich program. We know that people may be working, people may be managing families. Of course, this is not a first degree, so majority of you will be people who are already in the world of work, one way or the other, and also managing family. And that's why we make it flexible, so that you can actually juggle these together. So usually it's 3 to 4 weeks intensive per semester, Monday to Saturdays and Sundays sometimes. When we were, pre-COVID era, and you come to campus, you block, that 3 weeks intensive, and then you come back in August to write your exams. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we've changed it. So the lecture period is 3 to 4 weeks in April, starting from 26th April to May, and then you come and write your exams in June, and that's the examination period. Once you're done, when you go, when we're done with lectures and you're done with your exams, you still keep in touch with your lecturers, discussing your project, etc. Any other questions? You still use the university facilities because you're a university student. You use the library. You come on campus if you have to host, some meetings, etc. If you have to do discussion, you're still here. Then you come for the following year and then continue the same pattern. Then you are done. That's how it's organized. Obviously, the entry requirements, as somebody was asking, first degree. We say that any good first degree. Obviously, before now we used to recognize only first and second class. But now, we actually spoke to the graduate school and they actually permitted that we probably can add third class to it. So you have first to third class in the related fields, from a recognized university, and you have a minimum of 2 years, experience, work experience. Of course, we can actually discuss, some of these things. But of course, the qualification is first degree, first to third class. Required documents that you need to have with you when you're starting the application. You want to make sure that you have your certificate, your transcript with you. You have your passport size picture scanned. You have your research topic. The research topic, you shouldn't be hard and fast about it. I mean, you can always change the research topic, but at least you have to have something in mind that you're going to actually research on. So make sure that you scan your certificate, you scan your transcript. If you're a Legon student, of course, those information, the transcript will be with us, or we'll have a copy. So you need to have your number, your school ID. That's what we used to pull your details. But if you're a non-Legon student, you want to have them and scan them, and then you can actually put them on the system. Again, scan your passport size pictures, as we said, and then you have your 3 referees. Usually you give us the referee's email address, and then we can actually send them a link for them to populate your references. But of course, if you have the references too, you can upload it onto the system. Now, how to apply? Of course, Ghanaian applicant, you go to Zenith Bank, UMB, EcoBank, Republic Bank, Consolidated Bank, ADB, GCB, and then Fidelity. Of course, most people go to GCB. You have the voucher, which is 200 Ghana cedis. You buy the voucher, and then when you go online, which you see the link, and I'll put the link in the chat box, you just put in the PIN, and then I think the application number or so, and then you can actually populate, or you fill the form, and then you apply. So how to apply? As I said, if you're an international student, it's $110. Obviously, it's non-refundable. I'll put this link that you see here into the chat box. Once you click on that link, it takes you straight to the application, process. So once you have your voucher, you copy that link, and then you put it in the URL. You can actually, populate your application there. The deadline for application is 31st March, just the end of this month, please. So if you want to be sure that you're in, don't forget, make sure that you start the process ASAP, so that we can issue your admission letters very quickly. And if you have any arrangement making, you can actually do it very quickly. Don't wait until after 31st. We can't do anything about it because we don't have control over it. It's School of Graduate Studies. And once the window is closed, we cannot do anything because they would have to open the window for the regular student as well. So please make sure the deadline is 31st. Apply quickly before it is too late. Of course, program fees is $8,410 per semester for the sandwich programs. For foreign students, $3,700. And then, of course, fee payment, you pay it to UGBS Special Programs account with GCB. If you need any clarity, you can always contact me or contact any official of UGBS, and we can actually help you with that. But that is the information. Thank you so much. I'm going to post the link onto the chat box. And then, of course, I would also take some of your questions and then try to answer them. Those that I cannot answer, I will definitely come back to you after this. So yes, I have Emmanuel, your hand is up. As I said, please make sure that you put your hand up and then I can actually take the questions one by one. All right, so
Thank you, Doc. I have a very simple question. Just like you said, the tourism sector is very broad. And within the sector, some of the people who form the sector also have their professional courses that they run. For example, those in the travel and tour ticketing industry have IATA courses that they run up to management or consultant management level. Now, if somebody doesn't have the first degree and he has the professional up to the final level, does it qualify the person to come on board?
Okay, thank you so much. That's a very good question, Emmanuel. I would wish to say yes. Unfortunately, the University of Ghana has one basic qualification for master's degree, and that's first degree. So, so long as you have a first degree, first to third class, fantastic. But if you do not, and you have the other professional courses, we would appreciate that you do a top up to get to a first degree level before. I wish I could say yes for that, but unfortunately, UG has one basic standard for master's degree. Once it's a master's degree, certainly it has to be a first degree as an entry. Sorry about that. Okay, I hope it's okay for you, Emmanuel, the answer. I hope it's clear. Okay, Frederica.
Yeah, it's clear,
please,
it's clear.
Come in, Frederica.
Doc, it's clear.
Okay, good evening, Doc.
Thank you.
Please,
good evening, Frederica.
Please, is there a way we can have access to the audios or this video so that we can share it around across?
That's a good idea. Certainly, I'll get the IT guys to make it available so that we can, I'm sure they will host it on the UGBS TV, which is the YouTube page, and then I can share the links with you. So please don't hesitate to take my email address, and I'll put it on here so that drop me an email so that once the guys hosted, I will send you the link.
Okay, right? Thank you so much.
And my telephone number as well. I'm on WhatsApp as well, so you can drop me WhatsApp too. I can send you the link once it's available. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Frederica. All right, Pellet, let's hear you.
Okay. Good evening, Doc.
Good evening, Pellet.
One of the requirements you cited was a first degree in a related field. I have a first degree, but it's in education, French. Do I qualify?
Fantastic. Yeah. Because we even have language within that. Yeah, you can actually apply. All right, so you can apply. Once you have first degree, certainly you can apply. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, who else? Someone lifted their hands. Okay, who else, please? Okay, so I suppose, the information had been comprehensive, and I'm sure you were clear on it. And please don't forget the deadline. Kwame, your hand is up. Kwame, your hand is up. If you can please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Kwame, if you can check your location, we can't hear you. Kwame, can you please check your location? Okay.
This opportunity to appeal to the program. I happen to be. Can you hear?
Yeah, Kwame, the line was bad, so if you can start again for us, and then check your
Very
location.
well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Very well. Quick one. I only want to use this opportunity to appeal to those who have not made their minds yet. It's a very good program. For me, I happen to be the only gentleman amongst the ladies so far.
Yeah, you were
I'm so yes, I'm so proud about that because it will go into the history books as the first gentleman to do this program. Fantastic. Now, I let me say quickly that the lecturers are the best. I've always wanted an opportunity to be at the University of Ghana Business School, and my first semester has been very fantastic.
Thank you.
It's I don't know how to describe it, but it's a fine opportunity for you to enroll yourself in this program and to be a student of the University of Ghana. That's all I have to say for now. I think that when you join, you will enjoy it yourself. Someone will ask, how does it work?
Go on. Kwame, go on.
So somebody will ask, how smooth is this run on the internet or via Zoom? Very fantastic. Very, very fantastic. I don't think that any of my colleagues and I have had hitches with learning. Learning has been smooth. We have very smooth seminars on the program, via this program, and honestly, it's very good, very smooth. You learn well. You do your exams, you have all the discussions. You just follow the curriculum, and trust me, you will get it right. So I'm trusting that. I'm in my second semester, which is the final one, will go down well, and my colleagues and I will graduate successfully. That's all I have to say for now.
Excellent, Kwame. Thank you so much for this endorsement. I mean, we're happy that you have enjoyed and you're still enjoying our company. You know, certainly once you are an alumnus of UGBS, you are in company of the best. And we are hoping that others will experience what you have experienced. We are so grateful for the endorsement. Thank you. All right, Yakubu, please.
Yeah, Doc. Good evening, sir.
Good. Hey, Yakubu.
Yeah, Doc.
Great to hear your voice, man. Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine, Doc.
Good. Yakubu, check your location. We can't hear you. Yakubu, you're on karaoke mode. So check your location and let me hear you again.
No, I'm business. Okay, can you? My goodness. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, all what I'm saying is Dr. Kobby Mensah is an excellent human being. He taught me in my first semester course, and I'm here to listen to him again. So all the students applying, you are in good hands. He's an excellent person, and he will make you a better person. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Yakubu. I'm so grateful for the endorsement. I'm so touched. Thank you, Yakubu, for finding time. All right, thank you. Yeah, Jobel, come in, please. Yeah, Jobel, let's hear you.
Yes,
yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I wanted to find out for how long Yeah, for how long has this program been
running?
Going on? Like since when was it started?
Okay,
yes.
It's one of our newest programs. In fact, Kwame, who just spoke, is part of the first cohort, the pioneers. So you will be the second, cohort that we are hosting. It's very new in terms of our programs. In fact, it's our newest program so far.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, any other, please? Any other question? Okay. Okay, Harriet.
Okay, so was it 2020 or 2019? When did it start? 2019?
Okay, yeah, so I mean, it was out in 2019, but then the first batch, I think they came in 2020.
Hello?
Yeah, 2020 is the first batch. So you are 2021, yeah. You can hear me? Okay. All right. So Harriet, let's hear you.
Kobby.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello,
yeah,
Harriet.
Pump up. Kobby, what's up?
Pump up.
Please.
Harriet, yeah, good to hear you.
Please,
have you filled
I
the
got
form
the
already?
days. I got. Yes. I'll come around say Tuesday tomorrow.
Excellent.
I'll be done by tomorrow, so I'll come around.
Excellent.
Kobby, I got the days, but I didn't get the time.
Okay, the time for the classes. Okay, is it the time for the classes?
Yes.
Okay, usually,
yes, Kobby, yes,
obviously
please.
because of the idea that most of you are working, I think last time we started later on. In fact, it used to be from 7 a.m. to the evening. That is when we're doing prior to COVID. That's why we say you block 3 weeks and you come in. But because of COVID and it's online, we donate, usually from classes start from 5 onwards, by which time we know people have actually closed from work.
5 p.m. Yeah.
5 p.m. Yeah.
No.
So the timing is usually from that time, from 5 onwards. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Harriet. All right, good to hear from you. Now, someone is called iPhone. iPhone, sorry, that's what it's showing. So if you can unmute yourself and iPhone.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Your name, please.
I'm Setnam.
Okay, Setnam, thank you for coming through.
Well, you're welcome. Please, what I want to ask is not actually in relation to what you presented so far. I enjoyed your presentation.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm interested in the accounting and finance or the marketing strategy. But then you were given a date for which, like, you'd have to apply, and then if you don't, I think that would be at the end of March. I don't know if that's going to affect that of accounting and finance.
You're right. All the sandwich programs are the end of the application is 31st. So they are for all the sandwich programs, 31st of March. Tomorrow, the MA Marketing Strategy will have its session as well. So maybe you can pop in, tomorrow. But if it's about application, period, all of them, 31st of March is the end date. Yes. And I have Candice. Candice, good to see you, Candice. Candice says, Doc, are there exemptions if you have an MBA, for instance? And yes, I enjoyed Dr. Kobby's classes. Yeah, Candice did the tourism marketing. Candice, fantastic to see you and to hear from you again. Unfortunately, there is no exemptions in the program, but of course, because you have done the tourism marketing bit of it, I'm sure you would use the opportunity to share your knowledge and your intense expertise with your colleagues in class. That would be an added advantage. Perhaps you can be my TA at a time when you join in, Candice. So good to hear from you. And I look forward to meeting you in class once again if you're coming on. That would be fantastic. All right. Peter also says that, do we need to pay full fees prior to program commencement. Peter, no, we have arrangements. I mean, obviously, each student, we would have a peculiar issue. We can actually do fee arrangement with you. So you do not necessarily have to pay for fees, but we can always discuss with our account department. So we definitely can have some arrangement with you. Fantastic. All right, any other question, please? Otherwise, maybe we can be wrapping up. Okay, all right, okay, I hope so too. Okay, excellent, Candice. Thank you so much for coming in. All right, guys, I'm so grateful for coming in, and let us see your numbers on the application form as well, as you have actually attended. I mean, we were almost 40 plus, fantastic attendance. We are so grateful for coming through, for spending time with us, and then getting to know what we're doing here at the business school. I'm telling you, you would love it. And with these experts, as I mentioned them, industry players, more other industry players will join us when you come in. Alidu, yeah, let's hear you, Alidu. Yeah, Alidu, unmute yourself and let's hear you, please.
Good evening, Doc.
Yeah, good evening, Alidu.
My question is,
yeah, you sound very far away. Can you
hear me now?
We can hear you, Alidu, yes.
Good. Assuming you are not in Ghana, but you actually want to participate fully, and you're talking of examinations and practical project work and what have you. How do you participate fully when you are actually not in Ghana physically, even though I know it's online, but
okay, sure.
Will it be the time that you will be needed physically to participate in this program? That's my question.
That's a very genuine question. Now, I think that, as Kojo even pointed out, and of course, Mr. Kwachi also said, I think that because of COVID, almost every institution now is realigning their operations, and so is the business school and the university itself. I think the COVID has actually shown us how to work remotely. Currently, we are working remotely, be it supervision, etc. In fact, that is how I've been working anyway. I never meet my students unless they want to meet me, and majority of times is by emails, by WhatsApps, etc. And most of my colleagues are doing the same thing, And of course, the classes is also, by distance. I mean, by online. So yes, if we move beyond COVID and things become normalized, of course, we would still have our sit-in, physical, interactions, but we have also moved online, as we can appreciate now, doing the course online now. So within this period, if you're not in the country, it's not a problem. Certainly, your thesis, everything else could be done by distance. Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And then someone says, Infinix says, may I know the fees again? Yes, the fees I've just projected is $8,410 per semester for all the sandwich programs, including the Msc Hospitality. For foreign students, $3,700. Thank you. All right, any other question, please? Otherwise, we can call it a day. All right, so thank you guys so much for coming in. My IT guys, I'm so grateful. The IT guys would make the video available on the UGBS TV. I will share the link with any of you who actually send me information, and then you can actually follow through. But don't forget, 31st March, that's the crucial day you don't have to forget. Please make sure you go and buy your voucher and then fill the form online, and then let's get going in class. You would enjoy it. Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I'm so grateful for making it to be with me. Thank you, and bye.